It's a beautiful night for baseball here in Westwood, California, as the Michigan Wolverines start the Dodgertown Classic here just off the campus of UCLA. I'm Leo Blavin, getting set for the Michigan matchup against the Bruins. Michigan will start batting tonight, as they will at USC tomorrow and then at Dodger Stadium on Sunday. Akeo Thomas will hit in the leadoff spot. He will be tasked with going against arguably the best pitcher Michigan will face all season, Griffin Koenig, the right-hander junior from Santa Margarita High School on Coto de Caza, California. He's ranked as the 16th best prospect heading into this 2017 MLB draft by Baseball America. Currently has a 0 ERA in his 2 starts this season. He's gone 13 innings, giving up just 3 hits. There's plenty of scouts on hand to see just how good his stuff is tonight against this maize and blue lineup. Michigan will come out in their road gray uniforms with the blue numbers. UCLA in their home whites with the powder blue pinstripes. The crowd continuing to fill in as the sun is set over the Pacific Ocean. It's a beautiful night, not a cloud in the sky here in Los Angeles. Michigan look to continue their hot play here on the West Coast. Michigan coming into this one 5-0 during their California swing, and they will look to make it 6-0 here on the Golden Coast, with Akeo Thomas stepping into the box first to lead things off for Michigan here in the top of the first inning from the Dodgertown Classic. Thomas batting .342 on the year, has 2 doubles to his credit and 13 hits on the season. He digs in as Koenig settles on the mound. First pitch at 6:01 paints the outside part of the plate for a called strike one, and we are underway here at UCLA. Kreidler, the third baseman for UCLA, playing about even with that third base as Thomas sends this one to the second baseman. Strumpf makes the throw with plenty of time to spare, and out number 1 comes the way of a ground out to the second baseman for Akeo Thomas. Jake Bivens now will step in for the maize and blue. Bivens batting just 156 on the season, looking to break out of a slump here. In the final weekend, Michigan will be outside the friendly confines of the Midwest. One out here in the top of the first. Bivens taking all the way on a first pitch right down Main Street for a called strike. The 0-1 pitch on its way, swung on down the third baseline. That'll stay in fair territory, and Bivens will make the turn for second. He keeps charging, and he will be in there with a stand-up double. Getting to Koenig early was going to be key for the Wolverines, and you could see Bivens fired up, gesturing towards the first base dugout that Michigan occupies. A nice double there with 1 out in the top of the first. Just sent that liner down the third base line. And with the third baseman, Kreidler, playing about even with the third base bag, and with the pace off the bat, he had no chance of making that play. It was handled in left field by Stevens, but Michigan in business with a runner in scoring position at second with just 1 out in the inning. And now Miles Lewis digs in, a pickoff back to second. Bivens diving back with plenty of time. Michigan looking to capitalize against one of the best pitchers in the country in their first inning of work. After Akeo Thomas grounded out to second, Bivens aboard with a double. 1 out here in the top of the first. Pitch on its way, belted into right field. Tracking under it, making the diving catch is Tolaya. And that will hold Bivens to simply tagging from second to third. It was a well-hit ball, however. A great jump on it by Tolaya, who sprawled out towards the right field line to make the diving catch. Bivens alertly tags up, though, from second and advances to third. An unfortunate break, though, for the Wolverines, as Lewis appeared destined to add to his RBI total on the season. Instead, a nice diving catch by Tolaya in right field forces Bivens to only advance to third. 2 outs now in the top of the first. Drew Lugbauer digs in for the first time tonight. Off speed, gets in there at the knees for a called strike. The home plate umpire for tonight's contest is Patrick Riley. 2 outs in the inning, 0-1 on its way to Lugbauer with a runner at third for the Wolverines. A hard cut taken at that one, missing everything. 0-2. At first, we have Billy Speck, John Bullock occupying second, and Kelly Gonzalez, the third base umpire. Koenig looking to get out of the jam here in the top of the first, ahead of Lugbauer, 0-2 with a runner at third. Lugbauer taking that one high at the letters, 1-2. Again, Koenig coming in with his 2 starts, going 13 innings total, has yet to give up a run. Michigan looking to put up a run here in the first with a runner at third, 2 outs in the inning. The 1-2 pitch from Koenig to Lugbauer. On its way, taken once again high and outside. Runs the count even at 2-2. Bivens ready to run on contact at third base. 2 outs here in the top of the first. The 2-2 pitch from Koenig to Lugbauer. On its way, in there for a called strike at the knees. Lugbauer doesn't like the call, shows his dismay to home plate umpire Patrick Riley, but the Wolverines will go down, stranding Bivens at third, and Koenig gets out of a jam here in the first inning. And the Bruins will come up to bat here in the bottom of the first without conceding a run in the top half of this opening frame of play. It was good contact by Bivens to get the double down the left field line. However, the Wolverines unable to put him across the plate to give themselves a 1-0 lead here on the Michigan Baseball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. Stepping in for the Wolverines, it'll be Oliver Jaske, the junior from Ada, Michigan, went to Granville High School, the left-hander. He was the Big Ten Pitcher of the Week last week, and he has been dominant all season. In particular, though, his last start against St. Louis, he went 6 innings, giving up just 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, conceding 1 double. He had a balk as well, but he got the win, his first of the season, in a 6-1 Michigan victory. He'll be tasked with trying to keep the UCLA Bruin bats at bay as a team. They're averaging .250 at the plate. UCLA, though, a team that has relied much more on their pitching than they have their offense. And it'll be up to Jaske to keep it that way on the mound for the Maize and Blue. Leading things off for the UCLA Bruins will be Daniel Amaral. He's a sophomore, batting just .214 on the year with 6 hits in the leadoff spot. He also occupies center field for the Bruins. It was their right fielder, though, Michael Tolaya, who made the spectacular diving catch in right field to prevent Michigan from plating a run in the top half of the first. Daniel Amaral digs in for the Bruins here in the bottom half of the first inning at UCLA's Jackie Robinson Stadium. Oliver Jaske readies to throw his first pitch of the night. Comes in with a 3.60 ERA, a 1-0 record, and 2 starts with 10 innings of work, giving up just 8 hits. He also has 10 strikeouts. Daniel Amaral digs in. And the first pitch paints the inside part of the plate for a called strike. As Jaske gets ahead of the first batter he faces this evening. Bottom of the first, Michigan and UCLA still scoreless. Second one gets the check swing. It doesn't matter if he went or not. It was over the plate for a called strike. 0-2. Jaski looking for strikeout number 11 on the season here in the bottom half of the first inning. Jaski readies, fires the 0-2 pitch, swung on and sent foul out into the parking lot over first base. Jaski aggressive in this first at-bat he's facing against Daniel Amaral. Looking for strikeout number 1 on the evening against the first batter he's faced. The 0-2 pitch once again, a tapper right in front of home plate. Wenson gets there, but instead he'll defer to his pitcher, who gets the throw there in time. A nice play by Jaski to leave the mound and help out his own cause with some nice defense, as the speedster Amaral had no hesitation out of the box, but Jaski never hesitated to pick up that grounder, not leaving the work to be done by his catcher Wenson. Instead, he picked up the ball and fired it down the first baseline with plenty of time. Nick Valleca now steps in for the Bruins. One out here in the bottom of the first, still scoreless between Michigan and UCLA. Jaski gives up a hard hit ball, just foul down the left field line. A bit ahead of that was Valleca. Good contact, but a bit early on the swing. Once again, Jaski ahead in the count. 0-1 to the pitcher's favor. This one just early again was Valleca, who sent that one even deeper down the left field line. But Jaski not giving him anything to put in play, and he's ahead once again, 0-2. Let's see if he can dial up the first strikeout of the night for Michigan, and he does just that. On the outside part of the plate, he made Valleca nearly come out of his cleats on that one. A nice pitch from Jaski to get his 11th strikeout of the season, and the Wolverines giving UCLA just one out left to work with here in the bottom half of the first inning between the Michigan Wolverines and the UCLA Bruins. Sean Bouchard now digs in for the Bruins, the junior first baseman, looking to give UCLA their first hit of the evening. Jaski spikes this one in the dirt, and for the first time tonight, behind in the count, 1-0. Bouchard batting a very impressive .478 on the year, including 3 doubles and 3 home runs. 6 of his 11 hits on the year, 4 extra bases. The 1-0 pitch paints the plate, 1-1. Jaski with an empty first base doesn't want to get overly aggressive and give Bouchard a pitch to drive, which he's certainly capable of doing. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first, none aboard. Jaski fires the 1-1. Off speed, buckles the knees for a called strike, 1-2. Jaski extremely confident right now on the mound, looking for strikeout number 2 in this first inning to get the Wolverines off the field with a 1-2-3 inning. The 1-2 pitch, low and outside, trying to get Bouchard to chase. He didn't comply. The count now even, 2-2. Two outs here in the bottom of the first. Michigan and UCLA still scoreless. Sean Bouchard in there for the Bruins. The right-hander readies for the 2-2 pitch. Swings on and sends this one back into the netting, foul. And we'll do it again at 2-2. Jaski looking to get out of this inning with 2 strikeouts. The 2-2 pitch to Bouchard on its way, off speed, just missing low. Runs the count full, 3-2. 2 outs in the inning, none aboard for the Bruins. Bouchard readies for the payoff pitch from Jaski. This one inside, and Jaski, not wanting to test the slugger for the Bruins, sends him to first base on a walk. The first base runner of the game for UCLA, and now stepping up to the plate is Jake Price. Price, a junior, batting .267 on the year with 4 hits, including 1 home run, a solo shot. Now Jaski has to be mindful of a runner aboard with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first of this scoreless affair. Price fouls this one off behind the plate. And once again, Jaski ahead in the count 0-1. The Big Ten co-pitcher of the week. It's his signal from Wenson and readies to fire the 0-1 pitch. Price just sends that tapper foul into the Michigan dugout along the first base line. And he's ahead in the count 0-2, looking for strikeout number 2 here in the bottom of the first. Bouchard ready to run on contact at first with 2 outs in the inning. Jaski ahead of Price. The 0-2 pitch on its way. That one over the inside part of the plate, a called strike 3. And a nice, efficient inning for Oliver Jaski. Gets 2 strikeouts in the bottom half of the first. We'll head to the top of the second. We'll be back in a moment on this, the Michigan Baseball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. Still scoreless here at Jackie Robinson Stadium. Ready to get back underway here at the top of the second at Jackie Robinson Stadium. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan baseball. I'm Leo Blavin. The Bruins throwing their ace out tonight, Griffin Koenig. Koenig got himself into some trouble in the first, but managed to get out of it without conceding his first run of the season. It was a hard-hit double from Jake Bivens. He advanced to third on a diving catch in right field off the bat of Miles Lewis, and Drew Lugbauer was caught looking for the third and final out of the first inning. Now Harrison Wenson steps in for the Wolverines. Their man behind the plate led the Wolverines last season with 56 RBIs and 8 home runs. And again, runs are going to be hard to come by for the Wolverines this evening with one of the best pitchers in the country on the mound for the Bruins in Griffin Koenig. Wenson readies for the first pitch he will see from Koenig, and it's over the heart of the plate for a called strike. 0-1. Michigan appears content to take all the way on these first pitches from Koenig, at least through their first times at the plate. The senior from Farmington Hills readies for the 0-1 pitch. An appeal called for by UCLA's catcher, Rosia, goes ungranted. The count now even at 1-1 for Harrison Wenson. The 1-1 pitch from Koenig to Wenson. Swung on and missed everything. Koenig blows by Wenson to get ahead in the count 1-2 here in the top half of the second inning. UCLA fourth in the country, allowing just 5.71 hits per 9 innings of work. They gave up 1 in the first off the bat of Bivens. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Wenson. This one high and outside. Count run even at 2-2. The infield playing deep for this slugger as the right-hander readies in the box to face the right-hander on the mound. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, and the foul tip easily dealt with in the mitt of Rosia as he says see ya to Harrison Wenson, who goes down swinging. One away here in the top of the second. Now Michael Berdar, one of the 7 California natives on this team, as Michigan has enjoyed their West Coast trip. They're 5-0 coming into tonight's contest here in the Golden State. Berdar digs in and takes a first pitch strike over the outside part of the plate, behind in the count 0-1 to Griffin Koenig. The 0-1 pitch sent foul, well out of play along the first base line. On the year, Berdar batting .371 with 13 hits, including 3 doubles and 1 home run, with 6 RBIs. Behind in the count here, though, 0-2. Slaps this one into right field. It will drop for a base hit, and Michigan getting to Koenig early. That's 2 hits through 2 innings for the Maize and Blue. And with 1 out in the inning, here in the top half of the second, Michigan in business. And the designated hitter, Nick Poirier, will step up for Michigan, batting .267 on the year, including 2 home runs, and a home run would be absolutely massive here, as Griffin Koenig has yet to give up a run this season, now going through 14 1/3 on the year. Nick Poirier digs in for the first pitch of the at-bat with 1 out in the inning, a runner at first. Slaps one foul off the glove of the catcher, Rosia. Runner at first. Michigan looking to plate the first run of this game here in the top of the second. A pickoff attempt, perhaps just to allow Koenig to regather himself, well behind. Berdar 6 of 6 on stolen base attempts this year. Certainly a threat to run on the base paths. Poirier swings and misses everything. That pitch up high got Poirier to chase. The count in the favor of Koenig, 0-2. Berdar ready to run on anything sent in the ground with 1 out here in the top of the second. Berdar at first. Poirier in the batter's box, the lefty, looking to drive something into right field. The 0-2 pitch, swung on, sent foul behind home plate into the netting. Around the home plate, it's artificial turf, as well as the dirt that occupies the area behind home plate, as well as in front of the respective dugouts. Outside of that, everything natural dirt and grass here at Jackie Robinson Stadium. The 0-2 pitch sent down the left field line, foul, carrying over the UCLA dugout and bullpen that occupies the third base line. All natural light here in Westwood gone. The lights illuminating the field here. Michigan looking to put up the first run of this game in the top half of the second inning, with Berdar at first, ready to run. Poirier readies for the 0-2 pitch. Pickoff attempt once again, well behind. Count stays at 0-2, 1 out here in the top of the second. Koenig appears to be laboring a little bit here early on. Michigan has managed to get a runner aboard via a hit in each of these first 2 innings of work. Another defensive swing by Poirier. Sent foul into the netting behind home plate. We'll do it again at 0-2. Berdar at first. Takes a couple of steps off the bag in the direction of second. One out here in the top of the second. The 0-2 pitch to Poirier. This one low and outside. A take for Poirier to run the count to 1-2. He's got to get defensive at the plate behind in the count, but he's not going to chase anything. He doesn't have to. Nick Poirier looking to give Michigan extra life on the base paths. Another pickoff attempt. Doesn't even force a head-first dive from Berdar as he steps back into the first base bag. Canning's got a quick pickoff move that doesn't allow Michigan to get too aggressive with their leads. However, Berdar has not really been threatened with a potential pickoff out yet. Here in the top of the second, the 1-2 pitch. And they will get Poirier swinging. Canning goes off speed and gets Poirier to drop to one knee as he took a hard cut at that one, got underneath it. And UCLA now 1 out away from getting out of the inning without conceding a run to the Maize and Blue. As Griffin Canning has now gone 13, or rather 14 2/3 innings throughout this season without giving up an earned run. As Jonathan Engelman will step in for the Maize and Blue. Berdar still occupies first for Michigan. Another pickoff well behind. As Koenig just trying to keep Michigan honest on the base paths. We saw him attempt to pick off at second in the first inning. It'll be interesting to see if Michigan tries to get aggressive on the base paths, as they've had 2 runners on base so far in this game. A pickoff and the throw from home plate, or I should say a pitch out. And Rosica, his throw well behind. Michigan appeared prepared for that all the way. UCLA, though, very occupied with the Michigan base runner in Berdar. And let's see if Engelman gets delivered a mistake off the hand of Koenig. Another pickoff attempt from the mound to first, well behind. You have to wonder if Berdar even bothers taking a lead off with the amount of pickoff attempts we've seen throughout these past 2 at-bats. At some point, Koenig's going to have to throw a pitch, and they're going to get Berdar diving into second, and he will advance to second. It was a pickoff attempt, and Berdar running all the way as Koenig tried to catch him at first. Problem is, by the time the ball got to first base, he was 2/3 of the way to second, and he dove in head first, and Berdar advances into scoring position with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. And it's the second base runner to reach scoring position for the Wolverines today. The aggressive nature of Michigan's base running pays off as Koenig's pickoff attempt taken advantage of by the heads-up base running of Berdar. The 1-0 pitch. Outside for a ball, 2-0 in favor of the batter, Engelman. Now Engelman, if he can find the gaps, especially with 2 outs in the inning, a chance to play to run for Michigan. The first that Koenig would have given up all season. The 2-0 pitch from Koenig to Engelman. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Once again, low and outside, 3-0 the count. First base open, though, with Berdar advancing to second off the pickoff attempt from Koenig to Bouchard. It was about the 9th or 10th pickoff attempt we've seen from Koenig this inning. And finally, Berdar had enough. He advanced to second without a even potential tag being applied. Koenig ready to fire the 3-0 pitch. And that one low, but gets the outside part of the plate. Perhaps a merciful call from Patrick Riley. Engelman still ahead in the count, though, 3-1. 2 outs here in the top of the second, scoreless between Michigan and UCLA. Berdar in scoring position for the Wolverines at second. The 3-1 pitch to Engelman. On its way. That one low, and Engelman takes it. And he will take first base on a walk. And now Michigan has runners at first and second, with Johnny Slater stepping in to the batter's box. Johnny Slater batting .267 on the year with 8 hits, 1 double and 1 triple, and 2 RBIs. He's also got 7 walks, but he does have 7 strikeouts. But Michigan looking for their senior to step up big and play at least 1 run for Michigan if he can find the gaps in the outfield. 2 outs, though, still here in the top of the second. Koenig looking to get out of a jam with runners at first and second for Michigan. First pitch of the at-bat for Slater. Swung on, and he missed. Looking to get aggressive on the off-speed pitch. Koenig ahead 0-1. As the Wolverines look to play the first run of this game here in the top of the second. Runners at first and second. 2 outs in the top of the second, the 0-1 pitch. This one sent into left field. High and camping under it is Stevens, who makes the catch about 10 feet shy of the left field warning track. It's about 370 in left center. Slater just got underneath that one, and Koenig gets out of the jam once again. He's gone a remarkable 15 innings so far this season, has yet to give up an earned run. Michigan will send out their fielders as well as their pitcher, Oliver Jasky, who had an impressive first inning in which he had 2 strikeouts. He'll be back on the mound after an extensive inning for the Michigan Bats that comes up with no runs. We'll be back in a moment. It's still scoreless here at Jackie Robinson Stadium between the Bruins and the Wolverines on this, the Michigan Baseball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM, Ann Arbor. Michael Tolia will lead things off here in the bottom of the second for the UCLA Bruins. Back on the mound for Michigan, Oliver Jasky, who had 2 strikeouts in the first. 1 base runner for UCLA in the first via a walk. Tolia, the freshman, digs in. Had a spectacular diving catch in right field in the first inning. Takes a ball outside ahead in the count 1-0. But that diving effort likely preventing Michigan from scoring the first run of this game. Now let's see if he can do some work in the batter's box as well. The right-hander ready. He's ahead in the count 1-0. Taking above the shoestrings 2-0. Jasky so efficient in the first inning, getting ahead in the count, but he's behind here in the bottom of the second. The 2-0 pitch from Jasky to Tolia, sent back from whence it came, getting it off one hop and firing it in time. A spectacular play made by the shortstop, Berdar. And it looked off the bat like it was going to find the gap into center field, but Berdar tracked it down behind second base, spun around and fired it, beating Tolia by a step. And a great defensive play and an even better throw with his momentum away from first base. Berdar helping out his pitcher, Jaski. And UCLA, not a team that puts up a ton of runs, but they certainly can wreak havoc when they reach the base path. Michigan's defense, though, helping out their ace, Oliver Jaski. One out here in the bottom of the second, still scoreless between the Bruins and the Wolverines. The first pitch of the at-bat to Strumpf for the Bruins in their first right. Chase Strumpf, a freshman batting just .235, has just 4 hits so far on the season. This his 7th start of the year. And that one at the knees for a called strike, 0-2. And this is the Jaski we saw in the first inning, dominating batters and getting ahead in the count. And remaining aggressive even with the strike to ball count in his favor. The 0-2 pitch. This one high, trying to get Strumpf to chase. He doesn't comply. And that will draw Wenson out of his crouch and back to the mound to conference with the junior left-hander. Jaski has looked poised on the mound, if not confident. He's still ahead of Chase Strumpf, 1-2, with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. The 1-2 pitch. On its way, swung on, sent into deep left field. Camping under it is Stevens, who has to try to track it down in foul territory. He's unable to get there. Rather, that was Lewis giving chase. Lewis didn't get a good enough jump. It falls harmlessly into foul territory, the left field line. And that left field foul pole playing at 3:30. That one about 3:15. And Lewis just not able to track it down. Keeping Strumpf alive for another pitch. He's still behind 1-2 with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Sends this one into left field. This will stay fair. Under it is Lewis, who makes the catch just shy of the warning track for out number 2 in the inning. Jaski not using strikeouts to get the first 2 outs of this bottom half of the second, but his defense helping him out as he forces the lazy fly ball to Lewis. For out number 2, Brett Stevens now digs in for UCLA. Stevens, a senior, perhaps the worst batter of the UCLA lineup that Jaski will see tonight, batting just .174 with 4 hits in his 8th start tonight. That one well outside and low, and Stevens is ahead in the count, 1-0. Two outs here in the bottom of the second, still scoreless between Michigan and UCLA. Stevens readies for the 1-0 pitch from Oliver Jaski. That one low and painting the black on the outside part of the plate. The count even at 1-1. Stevens takes the 1-1 pitch and sends it foul down the left field line, well out of play. As Jaski looks for his 3rd strikeout of this game. Ahead in the count, 1-2. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second between Michigan and UCLA. The first of 3 games Michigan will play in Los Angeles as part of the Dodgertown Classic. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, sent into center field. Tracking under it is Slater. With plenty of room to spare, he makes the catch. And through 2 innings, Jaski, efficient and dominant. We'll head into the top of the third. Michigan and UCLA still scoreless. The Wolverine bats, though, looking to play to run after they've gotten runners in scoring position in each of the first 2 innings of play.
to salute all veterans in attendance tonight. To those who can stand, we ask that you please rise to be recognized. Thank you for your dedication and service to our great country.
About to get the third inning of play underway here at Jackie Robinson Stadium, just outside of the UCLA campus here in Westwood, California, Michigan. The start of this 3-game Dodgertown Classic. Tomorrow, the Wolverines will head to USC's campus to take on the Trojans before playing a very cool game at Dodger Stadium on Sunday against San Diego. A great opportunity for these players to play in one of Major League Baseball's most iconic ballparks. And we will have all 3 of these games this weekend on youtube.com/WCBN Sports or on our native website, WCBNsports.org. K.O. Thomas digs in for the second time today. He grounded out in the first. Michigan looking to plate their first run of this game here in the top of the third. Thomas sends this one foul, high and out of play behind the home plate. 0-1 in favor of Griffin Koenig, who has yet to concede a run in this game, but it hasn't been easy. He's put Michigan in an opportunity to score with a runner in scoring position in each of the first 2 innings. Ahead in the count, 0-1, goes off speed with a curveball low and outside. Thomas runs the count even at 1-1. Bivens on deck for the Maize and Blue. The 1-1 pitch inside. Draws the hips back from Thomas. Not wanting to wear that one on the left thigh. He's ahead in the count 2-1. So Speedy on the base paths, just looking to get aboard any way he can. Would certainly take a walk if he's granted one. Ahead in the count 2-1. That one low. And the count now 3-1. Griffin Koenig struggling with his command in this first at-bat in the top of the third. And the Michigan dugout letting him know it. The 3-1 pitch from Koenig to Thomas. Sent on a liner to the second baseman, Strumpf, who makes the catch. As Thomas saw one he could drive, and he did just that. Unfortunately for him, it was right to the second baseman, Strumpf, who only had to take a half step over to his left to get the liner for out number 1. Koenig getting some help from his defense. That brings up Bivens, who had a double down the left field line in the first inning. He advanced to third on a fly out to right, but was stranded there after Lugbauer struck out. He's behind now in the count as Bivens, 0-1. The best contact we've seen from a Wolverine this evening came off this man's bat. Jake Bivens readies for the 0-1 pitch from Griffin Koenig. Check swing. Did he go? He did, according to third base umpire Kelly Gonzalez. Now Bivens has to get defensive behind in the count 0-2. We're right behind home plate, so we're going to have to take the word of the first and third base umpires on those appeals this evening. 1 out here in the top of the third, scoreless between Michigan and UCLA. Bivens ready to take the 0-2 pitch. It's spiked in front of home plate as Koenig tried to get Bivens to chase one low and outside. Bivens wisely takes, runs the count to 1-2. Ace is empty here in the top of the third. The 1-2 pitch with 1 out in the top of the third to Bivens. This one low. Did he go? According to home plate umpire, he did. Bivens wants an appeal. And from our vantage point, and you can hear the Michigan fans in attendance, and there's a good contingent of maize and blue fans here. Eric Bakich came out of the dugout as well. He was displeased. And you do wonder why the home plate umpire, Patrick Riley, made that decision. He's got a third base umpire, Kelly Gonzalez, who certainly could have made the call. And Patrick Riley still discussing things with Eric Bakich. Bakich giving him an earful from the Michigan dugout. Now Riley puts the mask back on and sets up camp once again behind home plate. It was a tough call from our vantage point, but you could tell by the reaction of Bivens. He strongly disagreed in the Michigan dugout, letting home plate umpire Patrick Riley hear it. Nonetheless, it's a strikeout, 2 outs here in the top of the third. As Lewis digs in for Michigan. Miles Lewis, he had that fly out to right field, a diving catch made by Tolaya that prevented Michigan from planting the first run of the game. A good at bat, though, so far for Lewis, who's ahead here in the third, 2-0. 2 outs in the inning. Michigan looking to get a base runner in each of the first 3 if Lewis can reach. The 2-0 pitch. Sent down the right field line, foul. And we'll do it again at 2-1. Michigan with 2 hits so far on the evening. Miles Lewis looking to make it 3. Adding .342 on the season. Takes that one over the outside part of the plate, apparently catching enough of the plate for a called strike. Count even at 2-2. Canning looking for his 5th strikeout of the evening. The 2-2 pitch. High and outside. Lewis taking the count full, 3-2. Still scoreless between Michigan and UCLA. Miles Lewis looking to reach. Lewis has walked 6 times on the year, looking to make it 7. The payoff pitch high and outside, and Lewis, is aboard with 2 outs in the inning. Michigan has had a base runner in each now of these first 3 innings of play. A nice patient at bat from Miles Lewis. He had a foul and a swinging strike, but he walked on 6 pitches. Now Drew Lugbauer digs in. He struck out in the first, looking on a questionable call from home plate umpire Patrick Riley, who's had a few questionable calls in this game. Another pickoff attempt, which, based on how the first 3 innings have gone with the runner at first, is something you can expect to get used to with Griffin Canning on the mound. Lewis taking 2 or 3 steps off first base with 2 outs here in the top of the third. Another pickoff. This one well behind once again as Canning slams his fist to his right leg in frustration. Looking to get out of this inning without throwing a pitch to Lugbauer, evidently. Lugbauer batting just .216 on the year, but he certainly has deep ball power if he connects. Another pickoff attempt behind, but this one forcing a headfirst dive from Lewis. As Lugbauer has watched now 3 throws, none of them coming in his direction. They've all been pickoffs, with Canning looking to get Lewis sleeping at first, but Michigan knows when they're on base, they're going to get thrown at, with Canning on the mound. And make it 4 straight pickoff attempts. This time, I'm not even sure Lewis was more than 2 steps off the base. Was back at first before the ball even came close to touching the glove of Bouchard, who's covering first for the Bruins. 4 straight pickoff attempts. Finally, a pitch delivered to home. Running all the way is Lewis. A high throw in time. And the tag applied as Michigan caught stealing. Miles Lewis tried to take advantage of the first throw to home as opposed to the base he was occupying for the Wolverines, and he is thrown out by Rosia. And a nice throw by Rosia, a better tag applied by Valeka. And Michigan will send Lugbauer back to the dish in the top of the fourth. He's left in the batter's box. A thrown out Lewis ends the inning for the Wolverines and sends Oliver Jaski back out there. We'll be back in a moment for the bottom of the third. Still scoreless here on this, the Michigan Baseball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor.
Once again, ticket number 032-337. You have a ticket. You are a TV winner from TCL and the UCLA Bruins. You have that ticket right there. There she goes. Congratulations, here for a winner.
Oliver Jaski back out there for the bottom of the third. UCLA so far in this game, just one base runner coming via a walk. Jaski's been dominant on the mound so far for Michigan. They knew they were going to need his best stuff with his counterpart in Griffin Koenig, perhaps the best pitcher Michigan will face all season. Again, Koenig coming in as the 16th ranked prospect in the country, according to Baseball America. Jaski perhaps looking to boost his draft stock in front of a plethora of scouts here in Westwood tonight at Jackie Robinson Stadium, just off the campus of UCLA. The Bruins going back to work, looking to plate the first run of this game in the bottom of the third. Ryan Kreidler digs in for his first at-bat of the evening, batting .304 on the year. First pitch of the bottom half of the third inning misses low, 1-0. Kreidler with 7 hits on the year, 4 strikeouts and a double. The 1-0 pitch. At the knees for a called strike, 1-1. Jaski continuing to go at this UCLA lineup. We'll see Kreidler, Rosia, and then Amaral for the Bruins this inning. That pitch spiked in the dirt in front of the lead foot for Kreidler. As Ryan Kreidler, the third baseman, ahead now, 2-1 of Oliver Jaski. We want to thank all of you tuning in to WCBN sports coverage of Michigan baseball here at the Dodgertown Classic at UCLA. This one sent into left field. Underneath it is Slater, who tracks it down in left center for the first out of the inning. As Jaski using the fly ball to get the third straight out from the Bruins. Jaski forcing UCLA contact. He hasn't been hit particularly hard thus far, and his defense has complied with their pitcher's best effort. Rosia, the only Bruin yet to face Jaski from the Bruins starting lineup. He digs in the 9 spot here in the bottom of the third. Jaski throws one inside, a blowback pitch that forces the shoulder turn of Rosia. However, Jaski behind Daniel Rosia, 1-0. 1 out here in the bottom of the third, still scoreless between Michigan and UCLA. The 1-0 pitch, low and inside for a ball, 2-0. Rosia responsible for getting UCLA into the bottom half of this inning, throwing out Miles Lewis. Now he digs in, looking to help out the UCLA cause even further, ahead in the count, 2-0. Batting .357 on the year. Surprising to see those numbers from a guy batting in the 9 spot. He's ahead in the count now, 3-0. As that pitch was at the letters. This would be the first walk Rosia has seen all season. So he's ahead of Jaski, 3-0. That one inside. And 4 straight balls sends Rosia to first. Now Daniel Amaral digs in with the runner at first. The second walk given up in this game by Oliver Jaski. Through 2 1/3, Jaski's thrown 37 pitches. One out here in the bottom half of the inning for UCLA, still scoreless in Westwood. Jaski readies to fire to home with a runner at first. Another pitch inside. That's 5 straight balls at the left hand of Oliver Jaski. Rosica occupying first. Has not attempted a stolen base this year. And another pitch high. That's 6 straight. And would be surprised to not see some discussion on the mound, and we will see that. Berdar leaving his spot at short to regather the junior left-hander, Oliver Jaski, who appears to be struggling for the first time this evening. He's been confident through the first 2 innings of work, and after giving up a 4-pitch walk to Rosica, he's now behind Amaral 2-0. Daniel Amaral readies for the 2-0 pitch, taking all the way, rightfully so, but good to see Jaski get some confidence back with a strike right over the heart of the plate. Amaral grounded out. Back to the pitcher, Jaski, who made a nice play off the mound to open the bottom half of the first. The 2-1 pitch from Jaski to Amaral, and instead a pickoff. The crowd continuing to file in. A good crowd on hand. This is the smallest ballpark in all of the Pac-12, surprisingly. Jackie Robinson Stadium holding just under 2,000 at 1,879. They've been treated to a pitcher's duel so far. The 2-1 pitch from Jaski to Amaral on its way, gets him swinging to run the count even at 2-2. One out here in the bottom of the third, still scoreless. UCLA with 2 walks, accounting for their 2 base runners so far. Jaski, dare I say it, out pitching Koenig so far, induces a fly to center field. Slater tracking back, easily makes the catch for out number 2 in the inning. As Jaski inducing a couple of weak fly balls that his outfield is easily dealt with, and he's 1 out away from getting out of the third unscathed. After giving up the walk to Rosica, nice to see him respond, inducing the fly out to center from Amaral for the second out of this inning. Now he gets Nick Valleca back in the box, who struck out in the first. Valleca, 7 strikeouts now on the year. The first pitch of his second at-bat of this game, outside for a ball, 1-0. Rosica at first, ready to run on contact with 2 outs in the inning of this scoreless affair between Michigan and UCLA. The 1-0 pitch. In the dirt. Good block, though, by Wenson. And it forces Rosica to not even consider heading for second with 2 outs in the inning. He tracks back to first. Over Jaski behind once again, 2-0, this time to Nick Valleca. And 0 for 1 on the evening with a strikeout. The 2-0 pitch for Jaski. This one sent to first base, a diving stop made by Bivens, who gets back to apply the tag via the cleat to the base. And a nice infield play there made by Jake Bivens. We'll see if Michigan can continue to help out their pitcher, if they can get the bats going here in the top of the 4th inning. We're still scoreless, Michigan with 2 hits, but have yet to touch home plate in this one. As we head into the top of the 4th, both Oliver Jaski and Griffin Canning dealing for each side. We'll see if Koenig can keep it going in the top half of the fourth inning on this, the Michigan Baseball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. For the second straight inning, Drew Lugbauer steps back in after Miles Lewis was thrown out trying to swipe second. Lugbauer, another opportunity. He faced just one pitch in that last inning after 4 straight pickoff attempts from Griffin Koenig. Lugbauer struck out looking in the first. Steps in now in the top of the fourth, taking all the way on a first pitch. Off speed over the heart of the plate. 0-1. The lefty batting just .216 on the year. Looking to get things going. Doesn't have home run power. Let's see if Koenig gives him something to drive into right. 0-1 pitch. Once again, a breaking ball. That one low. Lugbauer displeased once again. That was the same pitch we saw him strike out in the first. Koenig looking for his second strikeout of Lugbauer on the evening. 0-2 pitch is at the letters inside. 1-2. Lugbauer struck out now 12 times on the season. Looking to avoid number 13. The 1-2 pitch. Paints the outside part of the plate. Lugbauer once again displeased. Strikes out looking for the second time this evening, and he lets home plate umpire Patrick Riley know his displeasure, and it gets a shake of the head from Riley as Lugbauer heads back to the dugout. Certainly does him no good getting tossed from this game, so he minds his words and heads back to the first base dugout, but I'm sure Eric Bakich will let Patrick Riley know his displeasure with the call as well. Second time we've seen Lugbauer strike out looking in this game. Brings up Harrison Wenson, who struck out in the second. He's behind the count, 0-1. 1 out here, top of the fourth, still scoreless. Michigan with 2 hits thus far, and they've had 2 runners in scoring position. However, Griffin Koenig showing why he's so highly touted, as he's gone now 13 and a third, or rather 16 and a third straight innings to start this season without giving up a run. His counterpart, though, for Michigan, Oliver Jaske, has been up to the task thus far. Just needs some run support from the Maize and Blue Bats. Wenson strikes out swinging once again. 3 pitches, 3 strikes as he chased it. An off-speed pitch, got over the top of it. And that's Griffin Koenig now with 6 strikeouts through 3 2/3. An impressive performance from the junior right-hander. Michael Berdar stepped in. He singled in his first plate appearance. This time he grounds it to the shortstop, Vallejo, who fires it with plenty of time to spare. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Michigan and UCLA still scoreless. Oliver Jaske and Griffin Koenig both pitching dominant performances so far. We'll see if Jaske can keep it going in the bottom half of the inning.
Spend the summer right here at Jackie Robinson Stadium with UCLA baseball. Games are available for all ages and ability levels. We'll have a grand slam. time. Registration is limited, so act quickly. Visit UCLABruins.com/campus for more information.
We want to thank all of you for tuning in. I know it's a late night back in Ann Arbor, 7:05 now locally here in Los Angeles. Michigan and UCLA still scoreless. It's been a dominant performance, as many expected prior to this game, between the two pitchers, Griffin Koenig, certainly the more highly touted of the two, but Oliver Jaski looking to repeat as Big Ten Pitcher of the Week, and he's well on his way through 3 innings of work against this UCLA Bruin lineup. Sean Bouchard, who walked in the first, will lead things off for the Bruins here in the fourth. Perhaps the best hitter in this UCLA lineup, batting .478 on the year, including 3 home runs and 3 doubles. He's also walked 6 times, including in the first. Let's see if Oliver Jaski goes after Bouchard here. 0-0 between Michigan and UCLA, the first of 3 games in the Dodgertown Classic for the Wolverines, who are 5-0 currently during their California swing, looking to make it 6-0 with an impressive victory over a Pac-12 power. If they can get some run support to help out Jaski, who's been dominant through 3. He starts the 4th inning with a pitch that sent foul into the right field parking lot. Bouchard readies behind 0-1. The Bruins slugger looking for something to drive. Taking all the way outside. Jaski ahead in the count 0-2. This would be a big strikeout against UCLA's best hitter. Bouchard behind 0-2. Jaski looking to get aggressive and get his 3rd strikeout of the evening. Over the outside part of the plate. Not sure where that missed. Apparently just outside. The Michigan dugout not liking it. And we've seen some of those outside pitches called against the Wolverines, particularly Drew Lugbauer must be furious, but he will have to watch the 1-2 pitch from his 3rd base spot. Jaski delivers the 1-2. Swung on, sent into right field. A blooper. Can Michigan get a man under it? It falls fair just inside the right field line, as there was a triangle of Wolverines there. Bivens, Thomas, and Engelman, none of them able to get to it, and UCLA gets their first hit of the game, a little bloop single into right field. And now how does Jaski respond? The first real adversity he's faced, no outs in the inning. The leadoff man aboard, and Bouchard, who singles to right. Wasn't hard contact. It was a defensive swing that just managed to find a gap and stay 3 or 4 feet to the left of that right field line in fair territory. Now Jake Price, the designated hitter, digs in. Struck out looking in the first. He's got a runner at first, no out. Here in the bottom of the 4th, scoreless between Michigan and UCLA. Squaring to bunt, that one tapped off home plate and bouncing over the head of Wenson, who jumped out of his crouch quickly. He didn't get his glove on it because it had already bounced off the rubber and behind him. UCLA looking to play small ball here and allow Jake Price to advance Bouchard, who's at first. After the fouled off bunt attempt, swinging all the way and missing all the way. Off speed, forces Price to drop to the left knee. Chasing after that one, low and outside, 0-2. This would be a big strikeout for Jaski here after giving up the first hit of the game to UCLA here in the bottom of the 4th. 0-2 pitch from Jaski. Gets the strikeout. Strikeout number 3 on the evening. And that's a big one there. UCLA will keep their man at first in Bouchard. Not able to advance on the strikeout there, and a nice confident sequence for Jaski after giving up his first hit of the evening. The reason this game remains tied, Michael Tolaya, who had the diving stop in right field in the first inning that prevented Michigan from plating what would be the only run in this game. Now we're in the bottom of the fourth, still scoreless, 1 out. Tolaya steps in and sends one foul up and out of play over the home plate netting, excuse me. At first, Bouchard looking to run. He's got 1 stolen base on the year in 1 attempt. Tolaya ready. Behind in the count, 0-1. Jaski looking for strikeout number 4. The 0-1 pitch. Off speed, just missing inside. Runs the count even, 1-1. Tolaya grounded out to third in the second inning. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. The 1-1 pitch right over the heart of plate. Taking all the way was Tolaya. And he's behind now, 1-2. Jaski, after giving up a hit to lead off the inning, looking to go back-to-back strikeouts. Ahead, 1-2. Pickoff attempt. Jaski just looking to regather himself. Bouchard, not really a base running threat, even with 1 out in the inning. Would be surprised to see UCLA get overly aggressive. Once again, Jaski readies to fire the 1-2 pitch. Pickoff attempt. Bouchard not even a full step off the base. Barely has to track back to first. 2 straight pickoff attempts from Jaski. Still ahead in the count, 1-2. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. Looking to strike out Michael Tolaya. The 1-2 pitch. Perhaps a pitch out. That one well outside. Trying to get Tolaya to chase. He doesn't. 2-2. 1 hit for the Bruins in this game came from the leadoff man in this bottom of the fourth, Bouchard. Here's the 2-2 pitch. In there for a called strike. Belt high over the inside part of the plate. Strikeout number 4 on the evening for Jaski, who continues to dominate this Bruin lineup after giving up a leadoff single here in the bottom of the fourth. He's responded with 2 straight strikeouts. And now he'll look to get out of the inning. Facing off against Chase Strumpf, who flew out to left field back in the second. Nice response from Oliver Jaski after giving up a hit to lead off this inning. And the first pitch really low, but a strike the call nonetheless. Draws a slight shake of the head from Chase Strumpf, and I happen to agree with the second baseman. That one appeared low, but Jaski just dealing right now, and he's getting some help from home plate umpire Patrick Riley, and Michigan deserves some of the breaks given how this game has been umpired so far. The 0-1 pitch to Strumpf. Sent to the shortstop. Getting there is Berdar, who fires it to Thomas at second to get the leadoff man to end the inning. 2 strikeouts and a ground out. After giving up a leadoff single on a blooper to right field, sends Jaski back into the dugout. We'll head to the top of the fifth, still scoreless here at Jackie Robinson Stadium between Michigan and UCLA.
Answer our trivia question correctly, they will win a Fat South snapback hat plus the gift card. Good at Fat South. Okay, Daphne and Annika, are you ready for the question? Here we go. How many Bruins are currently playing baseball on Major League Baseball roster? Once again, The Bruins are currently playing on Major League Baseball rosters. Selections are A7, B5, OC9. You're going with set, C. Make sure you turn it this way because the press body's not the other way. Yes, and that is correct. C. It is a winner for Daphne and Annika. Congratulations. You both get a cool-looking Fat Cells sandwich down in the Westwood Village area tonight. After the game, go down, get the sandwich, and of course, we have a cool-looking snapback hat for you. Let's hear it for Daphne and Annika, winners on UCLA Baseball Trivia.
Michigan's bats ready to get back to work here in the top of the fifth. The Wolverines have 2 hits in this game. Those hits coming in the first and second inning. And with how well Oliver Jaski has pitched, just needs some help from his bats. Let's see if Michigan can provide it here in the fifth. Leading things off, the designated hitter, Nick Poirier, takes an off-speed pitch outside, 1-0 ahead. I want to thank all of you listening both back in Ann Arbor and wherever you are consuming Michigan baseball. Beautiful night here in Westwood. The 1-0 pitch. Tapper sent foul along the first base side. We'll bring you all 3 games from the Dodgertown Classic this weekend. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Michigan will be facing off against UCLA's crosstown rival, USC. And then Sunday, the big one, at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 o'clock Eastern. Michigan playing at Dodger Stadium. Chavez Ravine will host the University of San Diego and the University of Michigan. The 1-1 pitch to Poirier, set to the second baseman, Strumpf, who fires it in time for the first out of the inning. Now, Engelman will dig in. Jonathan Engelman walked in the second. And it's been a while since Michigan's had a base runner. Let's see if Engelman can provide it for the second time today. 1 out here in the top half of the 5th inning. Griffin Koenig, after struggling through the first 2 innings but managing to get out without giving up a run, has started to regroup and dominate this Michigan lineup. Engelman sends this one foul over the Michigan dugout along the right field line. 0-1, Koenig ahead. Koenig's ready to throw pitch number 60 of this game through 4 1/3. 1 out here in the top half of the 5th. The 0-1 pitch to Engelman. Low and outside for a ball, 1-1. Johnny Slater awaits on deck. Berdar and Bivens, the lone Wolverines responsible for the 2 hits in this game. One out here in the top of the 5th. The 1-1 pitch to Engelman. Low, and it took all sorts of control from Engelman to lay off that one. You could tell he wanted to take a swing at that one wisely. Decides not to at the last minute. He's ahead in the count, 2-1. Batting .208 on the year with a .441 on base percentage. The 2-1 pitch. That one paints the black on the outside part of the plate at the knees for a called strike. The count now even at 2-2. One out here in the top of the 5th. The base is empty. Jonathan Engelman, who walked in the second, battling. The 2-2 pitch. He'll swing and miss everything. Fastball from Koenig. And that's strikeout number 7 for the junior right-hander. He's been dominant after the shaky start, and Michigan looking for answers in the batter's box. Maybe Johnny Slater can provide them. The center fielder flew out to left back in the second inning here in the top of the 5th. Just looking to put one in play. Two outs here in the top of the 5th. Slater shows bunt, sends it down the third base line, foul, trying to catch the third baseman, Kreidler, sleeping. And you know Slater, if he can put that in play, has the speed to reach first with ease, particularly at the lull this game has reached with the pitching duel, trying to catch the UCLA infield sleeping. Don't think he'll have that luxury again with Kreidler now creeping in towards the infield grass. Now about even with the third base bag. 0-1 to Slater outside. He takes the pitch 1-1. Koenig delivers. One low, but evidently high enough for home plate umpire Patrick Riley. 1-2 now the count on the called strike. The 1-2 pitch from Griffin Canning to Slater on its way. Swung on down the first baseline. Tracking back for a moment was Bouchard, who was able to field it cleanly. Apply the tag with the left cleat to first base, and it's 1-2-3 for the UCLA Bruin defense. They will head into the bottom of the fifth, still scoreless here, with a pitcher's duel between Koenig and Jaske. Oliver Jaske looking to get through 5 innings without giving up a run to match his counterpart, Griffin Koenig, who's now gone 18 innings without giving up a run to start his impressive season for the Bruins. We'll be back in a moment on this, the Michigan Baseball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. Bottom of the fifth about to get underway. Still scoreless between Michigan and UCLA. Oliver Jaske dominating on the mound for the Maize in Blue. Brett Stevens digs in. He flew out to center, back in the second. Showing bunt. There was Stevens, and he sends it foul into the netting. Jaske ahead 0-1. Pitch on its way. Another fly ball, this one into center field. Slater tracking under it. Made a dead sprint from deep center. And in front of a diving Bernard just trying to get out of the way. Slater makes the catch for out number 1 here in the bottom of the fifth. And that's 3 straight outs after Jaske gave up his first hit of the game last inning. Ryan Kreider digs in for the Bruins. He, much like Stevens, flew out to center field in his first at-bat. Let's see if Jaske can induce another fly out to center here in the bottom of the fifth. Kreider, the third baseman, takes a strike at the knees inside. Jaske hasn't been dominant with the strikeout. He has just 4. However, UCLA hasn't been able to get any hard contact against him. Even the lone hit he gave up was a blooper that just found a gap about 3 feet into fair territory along the right field line. That pitch inside and will draw Wenson out of his crouch to conference with his pitcher. The battery meeting on the mound. One out here in the bottom of the fifth. 0-0 the score between Michigan and UCLA, a pitcher's duel between two of the nation's best, Griffin Koenig and Oliver Jaske. The Big Ten pitcher of the week, looking to make it 2 straight weeks, and undoubtedly this performance will draw the conference his attention. That pitch in the dirt, 2-1. But Jaske has been extremely impressive. His last start against St. Louis, he went 6 innings without giving up a run. And he's looking to make it 11 straight innings if he can get out of this one without conceding a run. The only problem is counterpart Griffin Koenig hasn't given up a run all year, and this is his 3rd start. He's now gone 18 straight without giving a run. Jaske just needs to get some run support because he's doing his job on the mound. He's given up just 1 hit. He's run the count now even at 2-2 to Kreidler. The 2-2 pitch. Sent back to Thomas at second. He fires it over to first in time. Bivens makes the catch. Out number 2. The defense helping out Jaske, but Jaske hasn't needed much help. He's been dominant at inducing weak balls into play. His defense has made easy work of them, as they should. And now 1 out away from escaping the 5th inning without conceding a run. Daniel Rosica, the catcher, walked in the 3rd. This is 2nd at-bat of the game. Looking for his 6th hit of the year. Chasing one outside, swinging after it, but not able to get any contact. He's behind 0-1 to Jaske. The 0-1 pitch. Missing outside and wasn't able to be corralled cleanly by Wenson. Perhaps a mix-up of signals, as that wasn't a spiked pitch or anything. As Wenson unable to hang on, runs the count even at 1-1. Jaske fans the glove, gathers the ball, and fires the pitch low. 2-1. Rosica, who hadn't had a walk all season, had one in the 3rd and is ahead in the count now. 2-1 here in the 5th. Taking inside out of the way, turns the shoulder. The count now even at 2-2 as that one painted the black on the inside part of the plate. Jaske looking for strikeout number 5 on the evening. Here in the bottom of the 5th, scoreless between Michigan and UCLA. Just 3 hits in this game. Late time called as Wenson leaves the crouch to go meet with Jaske in front of the mound. He's been absolutely dominant in this game, getting ready to fire his 67th pitch of the evening. Has given up just 1 hit, no runs. So far in this game, neither pitcher has. The 2-2 pitch, high and outside. Jaske trying to fire the stitching off that one. Wenson just able to hang on to it with no runners aboard. He didn't have to, but just showing his athleticism to make that catch. The count now full at 3-2. Daniel Rosica readies for the payoff pitch, taking it low, and Wenson not able to secure it. At his feet, he'll pick it up. And 2 walks and 2 plate appearances for Rosica. Daniel Rosica aboard with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. They'll flip over to the top of the lineup. And that means that Amaral will dig in, who's 0 for 2 on the day. With the runner at first, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th, scoreless between Michigan and UCLA. We want to thank all of you tuning in across the country to WCBN sports coverage of Michigan baseball. And a beautiful evening for baseball. The lights illuminating the field here at Jackie Robinson Stadium. 2 outs, and this one, a hard hit grounder down the 3rd base line. It will stay in fair territory, get by Lugbauer, and now runners at first and second, with Daniel Amaral reaching with his first hit of the game and just the second Bruin hit of the contest as well. And for the first time today, we'll see a runner in scoring position for UCLA here in the bottom of the fifth, with Oliver Jasky now at 72 pitches. You wonder how much more trouble Eric Bakich will allow him to get in. He's been so dominant, picking up that walk with 2 outs in this inning. Now giving up a single. Runners at first and second for Nick Valleca, who takes one inside for a ball, 1-0. Jasky, though, just 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam. Valleca struck out in ground out in his first 2 plate appearances. The 1-0 pitch, this one missing outside, forces a slide from Wenson, and this will bring a conference on the mound, with control starting to become an issue for Oliver Jasky, who's behind 2-0 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth. Runners at first and second for the Bruins. Sean Kenny, the pitching coach out there, meeting with his left-hander. And for the first time today, we're really seeing struggles from Jasky. Outside of that, though, he has been about as good as you could have asked for, going toe-to-toe with Griffin Koenig. The conference comes to an end, interrupted by the home plate umpire, Patrick Riley. We'll send Sean Kenny back to the first base dugout. Michigan and UCLA still deadlocked, looking for our first run of this game. Runners at first and second for the Bruins. Ahead in the count 2-0 is Nick Valleca. Here with 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth. The 2-0 pitch after the conference on the mound from Jasky to Valleca. Inside, missing, 3-0. And now Jasky 1 pitch away from loading the bases with 2 outs and bringing Bouchard, UCLA's best hitter, to the plate. Bouchard, who has a walk and a single to right. That inside pitch, just catching a part of the plate. Jasky needed a call, and he gets it. They count 3-1. Runners at first and second for the Bruins, still scoreless here in the bottom of the fifth. Jasky readies for the 3-1 pitch. On its way, misses low and inside. The count sends him to first as Valleca is aboard via the walk. The base is juiced. And the one guy Michigan doesn't want to face with the bases loaded will step up, Sean Bouchard. And Jasky's really worked himself into a jam. He had 2 outs in the inning. And he walked Amaral. Rosica reached, or rather he walked Rosica. Amaral reached via a single. And then a walk there to Valleca. Loads the bases for Sean Bouchard, who's 1 for 1 on the day. He had the first hit of this game for UCLA, and he swings looking for his second hit. He'll get nothing. Off speed from Jasky, trying to take advantage of the overly aggressive Bouchard to get a first pitch strike. He's ahead in the count 0-1. A strikeout, or really any out, would be absolutely huge here for the Wolverines. UCLA threatening for the first time in this game. The bases loaded, 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed once again. Jasky ahead in the count 2-0, or 0-2, excuse me. The Michigan dugout entirely on their feet, trying to urge on the junior left-hander. He's ahead 0-2 against UCLA's best hitter, Bouchard, with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the fifth. The 0-2 pitch swung on and sent foul. Defensive swing from Bouchard, who needed to make the defensive swing, sends it up and out of play. We'll do it again at 0-2 with the bases loaded. The biggest pitch of this game, an 0-2 pitch over the inside part of the plate. Strike 3 called as a flip behind the back from the catcher, Wenson, showing some swagger and deservedly so. Jasky fired up the Michigan dugout, leaving it to congratulate their pitcher as Jaski had the bases loaded, gets out of it with a third pitch strike. And strikeout number 5, the biggest of the game for the Maize and Blue. We head to the top of the 6th, still scoreless here at Jackie Robinson Stadium between the Bruins and the Wolverines. The biggest pitch of the game coming out of the hand of Oliver Jaski, who gets the strikeout of Sean Bouchard with the bases loaded. The Bruins will leave them that way as we head to the top of the 6th, looking for our first run of this game.
Lucky program, head to the center press box to redeem your gift card from Olokai. Olokai is proud to support UCLA baseball. They're serving the Bruin family with premium sandals and footwear at the campus bookstore. It's Olokai. Go Bruins. Congratulations goes out to Jacob Fox. Jacob, you have won a UCLA baseball cap. Please head to the center press box area to collect your prize. Checking some scores around college baseball. Final score just came in. Number 15 ranked Arizona shuts out Arkansas 3-0. Third inning, San Diego leading USC 3-2. Seventh inning, Arizona State hit by Loyola Marymount 2-1. Fifth inning, Texas shutting out number 22 Stanford 2-0. And fifth inning, scoreless, Oregon and Mississippi State.
Griffin Koenig returns to the mound here in the top of the 6th.
K.O. Thomas.
He's given up 2 hits, those coming in the first 2 innings of play. And K.O. Thomas steps into the right-handed batter's box for the 3rd time today. He grounded out in the first inning, and in the 3rd he lined out. Both of them being hit to the second baseman. Takes a pitch high, but called for a strike. Thomas, who's not the tallest player in the batter's box, usually gets that call in his favor. Not the case there. They list him at 5'8" on Michigan's roster. And that pitch about 5'4". Still manages to get the strike call from home plate umpire Patrick Riley. Does Griffin Koenig ahead in the count 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, this about the same spot, this time called for a ball, 1-1. Thomas batting .325 on the year, looking to reach first for the first time today. The 1-1 pitch. Inside for a strike, 1-2. Thomas, 6 strikeouts on the season, looking to avoid number 7. He's got Bivens and Lewis on deck and in the hole. The 1-2 pitch from Koenig to Thomas. Low and outside. Thomas managing to lay off that one, running the count even, 2-2. Michigan and UCLA still scoreless here in the top of the 6th inning. A pitcher's duel between Koenig and Jaski. The 2-2 pitch. High and inside. Runs the count full, 3-2. Thomas just turning the left shoulder. And he's 1 pitch away from reaching first and providing Michigan with their 3rd base runner. Or their 4th base runner, rather. First in quite a while. 3-2 pitch to Thomas. Sent into right field. It gets by a diving Bouchard, the first baseman, leapt for it. He's going to get the dirty jersey, but he doesn't have the baseball to show for it as it just manages to squeak by the first baseman. Tolaya clears it, but Thomas is aboard with Michigan's 3rd hit of the game. And now let's see if Michigan can take advantage with Thomas on the base path. Brings up Jake Bivens, who had the double in the 1st for Michigan's 1st hit of this game. Or does Michigan perhaps try to play small ball and just move over the speedster Thomas, who's 7 for 7 on stolen base attempts this year? Perhaps Michigan's best base runner, with Bivens stepping in. First pitch of the at-bat from Koenig to Bivens. Bivens showing bunt, pulls back for a pitch outside, 1-0. Bivens, the 2015 Big Ten Freshman of the Year, now in his junior season for the Maize and Blue. He's ahead in the count 1-0 with Thomas at first, no outs. Showing bunt once again, taps it foul. Count even at 1-1. Michigan looking to plate the first run of the game by getting Thomas to second via Jake Bivens' sacrifice bunt. The infield in for UCLA knowing it's coming. The question is, can Koenig force Bivens to swing the bat? The count even at 1-1. Will Bivens show bunt again? Thomas ready to run on contact at first. The 1-1 pitch. On its way. Bivens pulls back once again. That one misses high. 2-1. Perhaps just the threat of Bivens showing bunt could allow him to advance to first via walk and move Thomas over to second with no outs in the inning. The ideal scenario for Michigan at this point, but they'll take Thomas advancing to second any way they can get it. Bivens expect him to show bunt once again ahead in the count 2-1 with no outs here in the top of the sixth. Thomas at first ready to run. The 2-1 pitch. Bivens pulls back once again. It misses in the same spot. He's ahead 3-1. As the UCLA fans not liking it, but it's the right call, especially with Bivens crouched trying to lay down the bunt, the strike zone ever shrinking, and Koenig not wanting to give him something that he can put into play. But the last thing he wants to do is send him to first and allow Thomas to advance to second without getting the sacrifice out. The 3-1 pitch from Koenig to Bivens. Thomas running all the way. The pitch missed outside anyway, and that's a walk. No tag applied, and Bivens is aboard via walk. A nice at-bat from Bivens, who was sent up there just looking for a sacrifice bunt. He doesn't need it. He'll go to first via the walk, and that advances Thomas into scoring position with no outs in the inning, and Miles Lewis stepping into the batter's box. Michigan's hottest hitter so far, batting .342 on the year. He walked in the third, flew out to right in the first. He's got 8 RBIs on the year. Number 9 would be undoubtedly his biggest. No outs here in the top of the sixth. Michigan with 3 hits, UCLA with 2. A pitcher's duel that Michigan's looking to bust open. Griffin Koenig has yet to give up a run this entire season. He's gone 18 innings. Can Michigan be the first to put a run on it? Runners at first and second. The first pitch of the at-bat fouled into the glove of Rosica off the bat of Miles Lewis. Lewis slugging .500 this year, a .447 on base percentage. 0 for 1 on the day with a walk in the third and a fly out to right in the first. Thomas ready to run at second. Bivens at first. Koenig ready to throw pitch number 80. This one tapped foul high into the netting. Just shy of the UCLA dugout along the third base line. Now Lewis has to get defensive behind in the count 0-2. Koenig looking for strikeout number 8. Michigan looking to plate the first run of this game here in the top of the sixth. Lewis readies for the 0-2 pitch from Koenig. The runner's going. That one missing high and outside. Thomas dives in. Several steps too late in the throw. Made with plenty of time to spare. Michigan, you knew, was going to test Rosica's arm throughout this game. The second caught stealing Michigan's had, though. Thomas caught for the first time this year. Make it now 7 of 8. The double steal was on for the Wolverines. And Thomas, the lead man, thrown out at third. Bivens advances to second. 1 out here in the top of the seventh. You like to see the aggressiveness. You just wish it would have paid off. Runner, though, still in scoring position for the Wolverines. However, 1 out now in the inning for Miles Lewis to work with. Bivens at second. Lewis in the batter's box after Thomas thrown out, trying to swipe third. Would have been a massive double steal if the Wolverines could have pulled it off. They want to test the arm of Rosica. He's been up to the task, though. A pickoff attempt. The tag applied not in time. Bivens diving back headfirst into second. The count remains 1-2 here in the top of the sixth. 0-0 the score between Michigan and UCLA, the first of 3 games for both these teams in the Dodgertown Classic. Michigan, of course, tomorrow will play at USC and then at Dodger Stadium on Sunday against the University of San Diego. 1 out here in the top of the sixth. Runner at second. The 1-2 pitch to Lewis. At the knees, he held off it. Needed to take a swing. It's a called strike 3, and it's strikeout number 8 rather, for Griffin Koenig, who's now 1 out away of keeping his sterling start going, trying to make it 19 straight innings to open the season without conceding a run. An inning that started with Michigan reaching via a single for Thomas, who got to first, and then a walk to Bivens. Runners at first and second, the double steal. Thomas thrown out at third, and a strikeout looking there for Lewis brings Lugbauer to the plate, who struck out looking both in the first and the fourth. And Koenig, who's worked himself into a couple jams in this game, trying to escape once again. Michigan is stranded 3 so far in this game. UCLA stranding 6. They had the bases loaded last inning and could not convert. A big strikeout from Jaski. And now Koenig tried to answer with a nice sequence of pitches of his own. 2 outs here in the top of the sixth. Drew Lugbauer stepping in, batting just .211 on the year, looking to break out of this slump in a major way. He has 7 RBIs on the season, 2 doubles and a home run. Jake Bivens at second with 2 outs, looking to run on any contact. Lugbauer looking to try to find a gap and give Michigan the first run of this game. Top of the sixth, 2 outs. Koenig, after a conference on the mound with his pitching coach and the entire infield, ready to deliver the first pitch of his third at-bat against Drew Lugbauer. Pitch right over the heart of the plate at the knees. Lugbauer taking all the way for a called strike, 0-1. 8 strikeouts for Griffin Koenig, 3 walks, and he's given up 3 hits, no runs all season. The 0-1 pitch with Bivens at second. Lugbauer in left-handed batter's box. A pickoff attempt not in time. Bivens diving back with time to spare. Bivens ahead of that throw, ready to run on contact once again. Lugbauer behind in the count, 0-1. 2 outs here in the top of the sixth, an inning that started with Michigan having runners at first and second, nobody out. Koenig trying to get out of the jam once again. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed by Lugbauer, who tried to drive that one well out of the yard. He didn't make any contact, though, and now is behind 0-2 and has to get defensive with these cuts in order to avoid his third strikeout of the evening. And Koenig escaped the jam once again. He's ahead 0-2. He'll regather himself off the mound, take a deep breath, and get ready to fire pitch number 84 of the evening. The 0-2 pitch. 2 outs in the inning, runner at second for the Wolverines. On its way, in the dirt, Lugbauer laid off it. They're going to ask if he went. Clearly did not. 1-2 the count. Lugbauer knows how generous this strike zone can be at times. He's struck out looking in the first and the fourth. He's got to be careful here. Take a couple defensive swings if required. Runner at second. 2 outs here in the top of the sixth. The 1-2 pitch from Koenig to Lugbauer. Off-speed pitch at the shoestrings. A lot of movement on that one. The curveball doesn't draw a swing from Lugbauer. Count even at 2-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the sixth. Runner at second. Lugbauer looking to put a score on the board for the first time today with a nice swing of the bat. The 2-2 pitch. On its way, swung on and missed. Strikeout number 9 for Griffin Koenig who's going to work. He's got himself in trouble a few times. Michigan just hasn't been able to make him pay. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Still scoreless here at Jackie Robinson Stadium between the Bruins and the Wolverines. A pitcher's duel for the ages between these two collegiate baseball teams, as we expected it to be a good performance from Oliver Jaski and Griffin Koenig. I'm not sure we expected it to be this good. Neither pitcher flinching. Griffin Koenig and Oliver Jaski both have worked themselves into a couple of jams. Neither has given up a run, though. Jaski returns to the bump when we get back here in the bottom of the 6th here at UCLA.
Let's play that theme song. He's going with A, and that would go with the choices on say Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, and Walking Dead. All great shows, all great themes. That particular theme is Game of Thrones A, and Mike's a winner. Congratulations, Big Mike. You won a brand new TV courtesy of TCL, 55-incher. Thanks for playing along, and thanks to TCL for their support of UCLA baseball. Good going, Mike. Leading off for UCLA, number 36, the designated hitter, Jake Price.
Jake Price will step in for the Bruins here to start the bottom of the 6th. Still scoreless between the Wolverines and UCLA, or Wolverines and UCLA. The Bruins looking to get the first run of this game. They had the bases loaded last inning, but Jaski got out of the jam. Him and Koenig have gone toe-to-toe on the bump. The first pitch of the bottom of the 6th, missing outside for a ball. Jake Price, 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out looking in the first, struck out swinging in the 4th. Batting just .235 on the year with 4 strikeouts. The 1-0 pitch. Price sends this one foul. Is there enough room for Bivens to get under it? There is not. It goes about 4 feet beyond the bullpen wall, just beyond first base. Running the count even at 1-1. Some action in the Michigan bullpen as well. Tommy Henry up and getting loose. Michigan looking to perhaps bring another left-hander into this game. Jaski with 82 pitches coming into this at-bat. The 1-1 pitch. Inside, strike the call, 1-2. Forced Price to flinch a bit. He doesn't like the call. He's behind, though, and has to get defensive, 1-2. Have yet to see any activity in the UCLA bullpen, but Michigan and Oliver Jaski perhaps in his final inning of work. If it is indeed, it's a shame he couldn't get any run support because he has pitched a masterful performance against this Bruin lineup. Giving up so far just 2 hits through 5 innings of work. Here in the bottom of the 6th, we're still scoreless. 2-2. Pitch coming from Jaski to Price. Swung on down the third base line. The glove applied by Lugbauer's fire across the diamond well in time for the first out of the inning. A nice strong arm throw from Lugbauer after fielding it with the backhand to get Price out for the first out of the inning. Here in the bottom of the 6th. Michael Tolaya steps in. He grounded out to third in the 2nd and struck out looking in the 4th, batting just 160 on the year with an on-base percentage of just .323. Sends this one right back up the middle and right on cue, gets a base knock into center field. And once again, we see Jaski, after getting an out in an inning, allow a UCLA base runner to reach. It'll be interesting to see just how long the leash is for Jaski as Wenson comes out to conference with his pitcher. With Tommy Henry getting loose in the pen. One out here in the inning. Tolaya at first, looking to run. Chase Strumpf in the batter's box. Grounded out with a fielder's choice in the fourth. Flew out to left in the second. Sends a tapper fouled along the left field line. Behind in the count 0-1 to Oliver Jaski, who's looking for his sixth strikeout of this game. He's given up just 3 hits now on the evening. Both sides now with 3 hits to their credit. No runs, though, for either side. The 0-1 pitch from Jaski to Chase Strumpf. In the dirt. Good block, though, by Wenson. The count even, 1-1. Michigan with their best scoring opportunity of this game had runners at first and second in the top half of this inning. Unable to convert, a double steal led to Thomas being thrown out at third, and then the batter is not able to help out the cause. Can UCLA get the first run of this game with a runner at first, 1 out in the inning? The 1-1 pitch, low and inside, 2-1. Potentially the last batter was the Oliver Jaski face tonight. The 2-1 pitch. This one fouled into the Michigan bullpen area, out of play. 2-2 the count. The 2-2 pitch was 1 out in the inning to Strumpf. From Jaski with a runner at first. He'll throw a pickoff attempt. We'll do it again. 2-2. One out in the inning, runner at first here in the bottom of the 6th. The 2-2 pitch. Gets the swing, gets the miss. Strikeout number 6 for Oliver Jaski as Chase Strumpf goes down swinging. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. A big strikeout there for Jaski. And now we look to the dugout to see if Eric Bakich is going to come pull his starter. Wenson appears to be in no hurry to allow his left-hander to throw another pitch. Just buying some more time, perhaps, for Tommy Henry in the bullpen. It appears they're going to let Jaski try to get out of the inning. He'll face Brett Stevens, who's flown out to center field in both at-bats today. He shows bunt, pulls back, but it's a called strike, 0-1. And you'd like to see Jaski get out of this inning. He's certainly earned the win. He just doesn't have the run support to show for it right now, but you'd like to see him exit this game with an opportunity to still earn that win. The 0-1 pitch, just missing outside, 1-1. Tolaya ready to run on contact with 2 outs here in the inning. Bottom of the 6th at Jackie Robinson Stadium, UCLA and Michigan, still scoreless. The 1-1 pitch. Instead of pickoff attempt, Tolaya tracks back to first. The 1-1 pitch from Jaski on its way, sent back towards Jaski. Thomas makes a diving stop. Does he get the throw in time to short? He does, a spectacular play. Thomas covering all sorts of ground from the second base position, gets behind the bag, makes a diving stop, and from his back fires a little wrist pass to Berdar. who's able to make the catch to get the lead runner out, and some great defense to help out Jaski as that pitcher will exit with a warm welcome from the dugout. But Thomas steals the show for the final out of that inning. A diving stop will send us into the seventh. Still scoreless. Great defense and great pitching, the story so far. We'll be back in a moment on this, the Michigan Baseball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. If Oliver Jaski's night is indeed done, he'll have put in position to deserve the win. He just hasn't had the run support. He threw 96 pitches through 6 innings of work. It'll be interesting to see if he comes back in this game. I would be surprised if that was the case. It looks like Tommy Henry will come in a relief appearance. Jaski's counterpart, Griffin Koenig for UCLA, has been equally up to the task. Both pitchers have given up just 3 hits apiece. As UCLA now starting to get active with 2 guys going in their bullpen. Heading into this, the top of the 7th, Koenig has thrown 88 pitches. The first pitch of his at-bat to Michigan's catcher Harrison Wenson is fouled back into the netting behind home plate. Koenig ahead in the count, 0-1. Wenson has struck out, swinging in his 2 plate appearances coming in the 2nd and the 4th. 0-0 the score between Michigan and UCLA, the top of the 7th, here at Jackie Robinson Stadium. The 0-1 pitch. This one, a high fly pop-up and just in foul territory along the first base line. Bouchard camps under it to get the first out of the inning. Koenig has 9 strikeouts on the evening.
Michael Berdar.
And he came into this game with 2 starts and had yet to give up a run. He's now gone a remarkable 19 1/3 without giving up a run to start his season. And at times looked like Michigan was destined to put one on the board, particularly in the 1st and 2nd with runners in scoring position. However, Koenig is regrouped when it put in trouble. A high pitch, this time to Michael Berdar. Draws the ball, call 1-0. One out here in the top of the 7th. Scoreless between Michigan and UCLA. Berdar chops this one into the netting behind home. The 1-1 pitch to Berdar. Swung on and missed. 1-2. Justin Hooper, the left-handed sophomore, one of the 2 Bruins getting loose in the UCLA bullpen. Koenig, the right-hander, though, still comfortably in this game. Ahead in the count, 1-2 to Berdar. A defensive swing, cut underneath it, sent fouling out of play. We'll do it again at 1-2. The right-hander getting loose is Matt Walker for the Bruins. So relievers appear ready to come in for both sides. Koenig, though, has gotten better as the game's progressed. Has yet to give up a run this season. The 1-2 pitch with 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Berdar taking outside, 2-2. Koenig, who came in as one of the top pitching prospects for this summer's MLB draft, has lived up to the part so far this season. Not sure how much longer he can go without giving up a run, but impressive to go 3 starts without giving one, and he appears to be on track to do just that. Even more remarkable, perhaps, giving up a total of just 6 hits now on the season. Two and two, the count for Michael Berdar, who singled in the second and grounded out to third in the fourth. 1 out here in the top of the seventh, 0-0 the score. The 2-2 pitch. Taken outside, the count's run full at 3-2. Brave decision by Berdar to lay off that one. We've seen that called for a punch out several times today, but this time Patrick Riley not having it, depriving Koenig of strikeout number 10 on the evening. Still has an opportunity with the count full, 3-2, 1 out in the inning. The payoff pitch swung on down the third base line. Getting there right away is Kreidler, who fires it across the diamond with time to spare. 2 outs in the inning. And Koenig 1 out away from going 7 strong.
Designated hitter, Nick Boyer.
Koenig 1-0 on the year, so runs aboard has been difficult for him to come by, given he has yet to give up a run this year and will likely exit this game without a win secured. 2 outs in the inning and a hard swing from Nick Poirier. Once again, Koenig ahead in the count, 0-1. Top of the seventh here at Jackie Robinson Stadium off the campus of UCLA. A check swing, not able to hang off it enough is Poirier. The count now runs to 0-2. Koenig 1 pitch away from strikeout number 10, and he certainly deserves to reach double figures with how well he's thrown off the mound today. 2 outs here in the inning, top of the seventh, 0-0 the score. The 0-2 pitch to Poirier, slapped foul into the netting behind home plate. We'll do it again at 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. That one in there, breaking ball for a called strike 3. Poirier goes down looking. Strikeout number 10 for Griffin Koenig. A masterful performance from the right-handed pitcher. The junior absolutely dominant tonight. And if he exit the game with that strikeout pitch, which I expect him to do, as he just crossed the 100-pitch mark on the evening, he will have managed to go 20 straight innings to start this season without giving up a run. A dominant performance for the right-handed pitcher for the UCLA Bruins. We head to that top, or the bottom of the seventh, rather, in a moment. We'll be back after the 7th inning stretch on this, the Michigan Baseball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM, Ann Arbor.
All right, fans, stay up on your feet. It's time for the 7th inning T-shirt and Cracker Jack toss. Stand up, make some noise. Score yourself a Bruins T-shirt and a ballpark snack. Your attention, please. Pitching for the Michigan Wolverines, number 47, Tommy Henry.
It's been a dominant pitching duel between Griffin Koenig and Oliver Jaski. We're still looking for our first run in this game as we head to the bottom of the 7th.
Up for UCLA, number
However,
3,
Oliver Jaskie's night is done. He goes 6 innings, giving up 3 hits, no earned runs. And in to replace him is Tommy Henry, the left-handed freshman out of Portage, Michigan. Made his debut on February 18th against Seton Hall. He was Michigan's 2016 Mr. Baseball and State Gatorade Player of the Year. But he starts behind in his first at-bat, 2-0, to Ryan Kreidler. Here in the bottom of the 7th. Neither starter deserves to lose this game, but one of them is still in a position to win it. It will not be Jasky. Koenig looking to get a run here to get a much-deserved win. As Henry tries to pull even, he gets his first strike of his appearance. 2-1 the count to Kreidler. Make it 2-2. That one over the outside part of the plate. A check swing from Kreidler as he thought that had missed well off the part of the plate that would generate a strike. The count even at 2-2 now. Henry looking for his 10th strikeout of the year. He'll get just that. Swing and a miss from Kreidler. The first out of the inning for Tommy Henry. Straight gas over the outside part of the plate, and Kreidler was well behind it. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th, scoreless between Michigan and UCLA. Daniel Rosica steps in. He's walked in his 2 plate appearances in the 3rd and the 5th. Tommy Henry has given up just 2 walks through 6.2 innings and now make that 7 innings of work on the year. He's ahead in the count, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, Rosia ready. Shows bunt, lays down the bunt, sends it tapping foul beyond home plate. One out here in the inning, bottom of the 7th. Tommy Henry in, relieving Oliver Jasky, who went 6 innings without giving up a run on just 3 hits. Henry looking to keep the hot pitching going. Remains ahead in the count, 0-2, a swinging foul. Tipped into the net off the bat of Daniel Rosica. Rosica batting .357 on the year with a .412 on-base percentage, boosted by 2 walks today. The 0-2 pitch. That one low and in the dirt, trying to get Rosica to chase. He does not. 1-2. One out here in the bottom of the 7th. The 1-2 pitch from Henry to Rosica. That one misses low and inside. 2-2. One out in the inning. The 2-2 pitch. That one at the knees for a called strike 3. Tommy Henry tells Rosica to take a seat. 2 outs here in the inning. And Tommy Henry has been impressive entering from the pen. 2 strikeouts for the freshman reliever, who's now got 11 on the season, showing you just why he earned that Mr. Baseball selection for the Mitten State in his final year of high school baseball last season at Portage Northern. Two outs in the inning, a breaking ball called for a strike. 0-1, Henry ahead again. Really impressive. First time seeing this freshman in person this year. He's made quite the impression on me. The 0-1 pitch, just missing outside, 1-1. Henry looking for 3 strikeouts through 3 at-bats in his relief appearance for Oliver Jasky, trying to help out his starter who pitched a masterful performance. The 1-1 pitch showing bunt and pulling back at the last second is Daniel Amaral. He lays off at 2-1. Amaral grounded out back to the pitcher in the first, flew out to center in the third, and had a single in the fifth. Batting .226 on the year. Sends this one into right field. Tracking back is Engelman, and he will have to track it at the right field corner. A hard hit ball into right field off the bat of Daniel Amaral, and he reaches with a double into right. Runner in scoring position with 2 outs in the inning. How does the freshman Tommy Henry respond now? He had 2 easy strikeouts through 2 at-bats, and then Amaral sends a liner into right. All Engelman could do is track it down at the wall, fire it to his cutoff man to hold Amaral to a double. But now a runner in scoring position for Nick Valleca. UCLA has stranded 7 so far in this game. Tommy Henry hoping to make it 8. 2 outs still in the bottom of the 7th. We're scoreless between Michigan and UCLA with Nick Valleca at the dish. The big left-hander at 6-3 readies. Fires it in there for a called strike, 0-1. Valleca taking all the way. Valleca batting .241 on the year, .071 with runners in scoring position. Or rather, 1-1-1 with runners in scoring position, .071 with runners aboard. Sends a second towering foul ball up and out of play, 0-2. Looking for his 3rd RBI of the season. Henry looking to get out of the jam with a runner in scoring position at second in the form of Daniel Amaral, who had a double to right field. 2 outs still, 1 pitch away from getting out of the jam. Henry fires, gets him swinging, but he just got a piece of it. And the tapper went off the bare hand of Michigan's catcher Wenson, and he has to shake it off. Harrison Wenson. Regathers himself. Conference on the mound. Bivens, the first baseman, providing some counsel. Bernard, the shortstop, in there as well for the freshman Tommy Henry, who's ahead in the count, 0-2, 2 outs in the inning. Here in the bottom of the 7th, payoff pitch from Henry. If he can get the strikeout here, it would be huge, and it would be 3 for the freshman. The 0-2 pitch. On its way, a tapper sent right back to Henry, who fields it just off the mound, fires it with the left hand with time to spare. That'll do it in the 7th. We head to the top of the 8th. Tommy Henry, in his relief appearance, gets 2 strikeouts in a ground out right back to him, so he does all the work himself. And the freshman keeps Michigan scoreless with UCLA still scoreless as well. We'll head to the top of the 8th. Back in a moment on this, the Michigan Baseball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM, Ann Arbor.
UCLA Athletics would also like to thank Adidas for being the official apparel and footwear provider for all UCLA intercollegiate athletic teams.
We head to the top of the 8th. Griffin Koenig still out there for UCLA. He's thrown a total of 102 pitches on the evening, and he will be back out there for the 8th. UCLA has 2 guys up and ready to go in the bullpen. However, as it stands, Griffin Koenig looking to keep dominating. There are plenty of scouts on hand, and he's done nothing to hurt his draft stock. He came in to the season as Baseball America's 16th best prospect in the country, and he's lived up to it thus far, giving up just 3 hits to the Wolverines. Jonathan Engelman steps in 0 for 2, or rather 0 for 1 on the day he walked in the second inning and struck out in the 5th. Third time he's faced Canning tonight. First pitch of the 8th inning, misses high and outside. No sign of distress from Canning, though. Still firing heat in there. Behind in the count, 1-0. UCLA's ace has been just that tonight. The 1-0 pitch to Engelman. Fouled up and out of play. 1-1. Getting loose in Michigan's bullpen is Jace Vancina. Doesn't appear to be in any hurry, though, with how well Tommy Henry pitched in his relief duty. And again, now 3 arms up and getting loose for UCLA in their bullpen. The 1-1 pitch sent on a rope to the second baseman. Strumpf easily makes the catch. 1 out in the inning. And Canning continuing to work through 8 1/3 now. He entered this game having thrown 13 innings without giving up a run. He's now gone 21 1/3 inning to start his season. This is junior year, and he has yet to give up a run in this season. Impressive stuff from the Santa Margarita High School product. 1 out in the inning. Johnny Slater takes a pitch inside. He's ahead in the count, 1-0. "12 strikeouts, a career high for Griffin Canning. He has 10 tonight." The 1-0 pitch, Slater swings and misses, 1-1. He's gone 9 innings twice. This would be a first this season. The pitch count at 105 as it stands. One pitch to Slater. Swung on and missed. 1-2. Canning comfortably past 100 pitches at this point. The 1-2 pitch to Slater. 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Still scoreless between Michigan and UCLA. This one paints the outside part of the plate. A breaking ball. Called for a strike. Strikeout number 11 for Griffin Canning, who's 1 strikeout away from matching a career high. And that career high, 12 strikeouts. He's accomplished it twice. The last time, his last start against Gonzaga, which came on the 24th of February, looking to make it back-to-back 12 strikeout performance with a K.O. Thomas stepping in. Thomas had a single his last time up back in the 6th inning. Here in the top of the 8th, 2 outs, nobody aboard. Scoreless between Michigan and UCLA. Thomas taking the curveball in there for a strike. The 0-1 pitch. Canning to Thomas. Slapped foul into the glove of Rosica. Canning 1 pitch away from strikeout number 12 for the 2nd straight outing. Top of the 8th, still scoreless between Michigan and UCLA. Thomas readies to face the 0-2 pitch. This one just missing outside, 1-2. Thomas had to lay off that one. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and just sent foul. We'll do it again at 1-2. Thomas readies for the 1-2 pitch from Canning. On its way in there for a called strike 3. 12 strikeouts for Griffin Canning. The 2nd straight outing he's reached a dozen. And Canning now continuing his dominant start to the season. He's gone 23, or rather, he's gone 21 straight innings to start the season without giving up an earned run. An impressive start for the junior from Coto de Caza, California. And now Michigan will head back out there with Tommy Henry in the bottom of the 8th. Some team's going to have to win this game. It's just a matter of when that run will come. It's been a pitcher's duel between Oliver Jaske and Griffin Canning to start. Canning still in there for the Bruins. However, Tommy Henry had 2 strikeouts and a ground out back to him on the mound in his 1 inning of relief work so far for Oliver Jaske. We'll be back for the bottom of the 8th. You're listening to the Michigan Baseball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. Still scoreless here at UCLA.
UCLA number 5 for first baseman Sean Bouchard.
Sean Bouchard, the thorn in Michigan's side so far, steps back in to start the bottom of the 8th. Bouchard 1 for 2 on the day, walked in the first, had a single back in the 4th, struck out looking in the 5th. First time he'll face the freshman Tommy Henry in this game. The big lefty readies to fire the first pitch at the bottom of the 8th. Bouchard showing bunt all the way, pulls back at the last second, still gets a strike call against him, 0-1. Bouchard batting .480 on the year with a .545 on-base percentage. Takes a pitch inside and in the dirt as well, 1-1. Michigan looking to make it 6-0 out in the state of California. But they're going to need a run to do it, and they're going to need excellent pitching down the stretch as well. And a nice off-speed pitch getting Bouchard to chase. And Henry looking for strikeout number 3 on his next pitch, ready to get back to work right away. The windup and the pitch. Swung on, Tapper back to Thomas, who backtraps for a moment, fields it off a hop of his own, and fires it in time for the out. Tried to jump in initially and try to short hop it. Instead, decides to backtrack. Makes the play on a hop. And fires it in time. And Henry now 4 outs in his relief appearance. 2 outs to go here in the 8th. Still scoreless between Michigan and UCLA. Jake Price in there for the Bruins, the designated hitter. 0 for 3 on the day, including 2 strikeouts. That pitch high and outside, 1-0 from Tommy Henry to Jake Price. UCLA with 4 hits on the evening, Michigan with 3. The Bruins have already stranded 8 in this game. The count even at 1-1, that pitch over the inside part of the plate to Jake Price. Henry, really good stuff coming out of the pen right now. The 1-1 pitch swung on and sent foul. And Henry 1 pitch away from strikeout number 3 on his evening relief appearance. Couple of really great pitchers we've seen tonight. 2 juniors and now the freshman Tommy Henry, who induces the grounder to the shortstop Berdar, who fires it with plenty of time for out number 2 of the inning. Henry getting some help from his infield defense here in the bottom of the 8th.
Right fielder Michael Tolia.
Michael Tolia steps in. He had that diving catch in right field in the first inning that prevented Michigan from plating a run. Little did we know that would be the really only opportunity on a hit for either side to score a run in this game. Talaya takes a first pitch breaking ball. First strike, 0-1. Talaya batting 192 on the season. Takes a pitch in the dirt, 1-1. He had a single his last time up in the 6th. Henry looking to go 2 innings in relief. 2 strikes from doing so. Make it 1 strike, an inside pitch over the black, 1-2. We've seen home plate umpire Patrick Riley like those inside pitches. He keeps giving them to the pitchers, and Tommy Henry keeps taking advantage. The 1-2 pitch, 2 outs in the inning. On its way in there at the knees, a nice behind-the-back flip from Wenson. Strikeout number 3 for Tommy Henry through 2 innings of work out of the pen. Michigan heads to the top half of the 9th inning. We're still scoreless between Michigan and UCLA. Let's see if the Wolverines can put something on the scoreboard and get a chance for the save in the bottom half of the inning. It'll be a new pitcher out there. We'll tell you who next on this, the Michigan Baseball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor.
Your attention, please. Not pitching for UCLA, number 12, Justin Hooper.
Much to the relief of the Michigan lineup, Griffin Koenig's night is done. He goes 8 innings, and just like he has all season, does not give up a run, make it 21 innings to start the year for the ace right-hander, who continues to move up draft boards. You'd have to expect with each passing inning he doesn't give up a run. Now in for him, Justin Hooper, the sophomore left-hander, comes in with a 4.22 ERA and 16 strikeouts. He pitched a career-high 5 innings against Cal State Northridge on February 28th of this year. On February 21st, in his season debut, he struck out 10 batters against UC Riverside through 4.1 innings of work. So he's got strikeout stuff, but Michigan will take anything they can get with Griffin Koenig not on the bump anymore. As you see some of the major league scouts even start to file out, they came here to see some starting pitching, and boy, did they see it. But we still want to see a winner decided in this game. And with an opportunity to lead things off for Michigan is Jake Bivens. And let's see if Michigan has better luck against Justin Hooper than they did Griffin Koenig, who exits giving up just 3 hits, no runs through 8 innings of work. Top of the 9th here, still scoreless between Michigan and UCLA. Bivens 1 for 2 on the day, walked in his last appearance back in the 6th. Taking all the way an outside pitch, called for a strike though, 0-1. Bivens had the first hit of this game for either side, a double in the top half of the 1st. He's been without a hit since, but he did reach in the 6th with a walk, shows bunt there, takes it high and outside. 1-1 now the count here in the top of the 9th. With how well these two sides have pitched, it's going to take 1 run in all likelihood to win it. Michigan looking to put up that run here in the top of the 9th. Pitched low and outside. Bivens taking all the way, 2-1. Looking for his 2nd straight walk and his 8th walk of the season. UCLA and Michigan still seeking the first run of this game. The 2-1 pitch. This one low as well at the shoestrings, 3-1. And boy, would it be big for the Maize and Blue to get the leadoff man aboard here in the top of the 9th. Hooper's given up just 3 walks on the year. Make it 4. That one high and outside. Bivens is aboard to lead off the 9th via the walk. And now Miles Lewis steps in 0 for 2 on the day, but batting .333 on the year. And would it be surprised at all to see Michigan perhaps play some small ball with how well Michigan's been playing on defense and with their pitchers on the mound? 1 run might be enough. Bakich marches a good 4 or 5 feet out of the dugout to provide signals to the base coaches. Perhaps a sacrifice squeeze on here. Bivens at first, Miles Lewis readies to face the left-hander Justin Hooper, who gave up a leadoff walk to start the top of the ninth here in this scoreless affair. Pickoff attempt number 1. We've seen Michigan test Rosica's arm twice in this game, and he's been up to the task, throwing out 2 stolen base attempts. No outs here, top of the ninth. Bivens at first. Lewis at the plate in the right-handed batter's box. Readies for the pitch. Shows bunt. Sends it foul into the netting. 0-1. Lewis just desperately trying to put this one in play. Bivens at first. No outs here at the top of the ninth. Scoreless between Michigan and UCLA. Pickoff attempt once again. Bivens back in plenty of time. As the reliever, Justin Hooper, trying to keep the Michigan base runner honest. The 0-1 pitch. Bivens pulls back on the bunt, takes it high and outside. 1-1. Miles Lewis, the transfer from the University of North Dakota, who dissolved their baseball program, and Michigan fortunate to get the former WAC Freshman of the Year. Didn't have to sit out a year after leaving a program that no longer exists. Shows bunt, lays it down nicely. Hooper makes the play in front of the mound, and that does its job. Bivens advances to second. Hooper thought about it for a moment, trying to get the lead runner. Wisely fires it to first to get Lewis in time. But a runner in scoring position here in the top of the ninth for Michigan's slugger, Drew Lugbauer. Lugbauer trying to give Michigan the lead. 0-0 the current score. 1 out here in the top of the ninth. Jake Bivens at second. Lugbauer readies, takes the first pitch well outside, and that's going to draw a conference on the mound. Rosica gets out of his crouch and tries to settle down Justin Hooper, who's in replacing Griffin Koenig, who went 8 innings and gave up just 3 hits, no runs. Michigan looking for their 6th straight win during this West Coast road trip. They need a run, though. Still scoreless here, top of the ninth. Runner at second in Jake Bivens. Drew Lugbauer in the left-handed batter's box. Takes that one high at the letters. 2-0. First base is open, but I'm not sure Michigan, or UCLA rather, wants Wenson and Berdar to come up. Both those batters batting comfortably above 300 right now. Bivens at second. Lugbauer at the plate. Readies for the 2-0 pitch from Justin Hooper. On its way. That one misses low and outside. 3-0. Hooper really starting to struggle with his control now. And the Wolverine dugout can sense this could be their last opportunity. Top of the ninth, 0-0 the score. But you don't know how many times UCLA is going to give Michigan runners in scoring position. At some point, they're going to have to convert. The 3-0 pitch with Bivens at second. Lugbauer readies. That one high and outside. He'll reach first, a 4-pitch walk. Runners at first and second. And Wenson, the catcher, stepping into the batter's box. Wenson batting .342 on the year, including 12 RBIs. Currently Michigan's leader in RBIs. Now we'll have a conference on the bump. Couple arms getting loose in the UCLA bullpen, and perhaps a change coming. As it appears, head coach John Savage for UCLA in no hurry, picking up some sunflower seeds off the infield grass, now heads finally to the mound. A slow, deliberate conference. And you'd have to expect a reliever to come in at this point, given how delayed this conversation has gone. That will indeed be the case. We'll be back in a moment. A new pitcher coming in for UCLA. Don't go anywhere, though. Michigan with a chance to bust this game wide open. Runners at first and second, with Wenson stepping to the dish. When we come back, one out here in the top of the ninth, still scoreless at the Jackie Robinson Stadium, just off the campus of UCLA. The new pitcher, Brian Gadsby, out there for UCLA. He's a righty. Throws nearly sidearm with his delivery. Comes in with a 3.37 ERA, a 1.20 whip. And he is allowing opponents to hit 375 with runners aboard. Michigan has two of them on at first and second. Bivens, the lead runner. Lugbauer, who reached via a walk. Now Gadsby in for Hooper. One out here in the top of the ninth. Michigan looking for the first run of this game for either side. Griffin Canning and Oliver Jaski both pitching excellent for their respective sides. Canning has now gone a remarkable 21 innings to start this season without giving up a run. He gave up just 3 hits. Michigan, though, needs just one more hit to take the lead in this game. For those curious, Bivens 5 for 5 on the year in stolen base attempts. Wouldn't expect them to test Rosika once again, who's 2 for 2. Catching Michigan, trying to swipe the bat. Harrison Wenson digs in 0 for 3 on the day, including 2 strikeouts. Leads the team, though, with 12 RBIs. Boy, would they love to have the 13th here. One out in the top of the ninth. The sidearm delivery at the letters and inside, 1-0. Runners at first and second. Top of the ninth. 0-0 the score between Michigan and UCLA. Wenson readies to face the 1-0 pitch from the sidearm slinger Gadsby. Delivery tapped foul into the leg protection of Rosika behind the plate. Count even at 1-1, 1 out in the inning. Wenson readies for the 1-1 pitch. Runners aboard at first and second, 1 out here in the top of the ninth. 0-0 the score currently. Check swing, did he go? He did not, and the inside pitch is a ball, 2-1. First base umpire Billy Speck not granting the appeal of Rosika. The last thing Gadsby wants to do out of the pen is load the bases with a walk. He's behind in the count, 2-1 to Wenson. Runners at first and second. Swung on and fouled into the mitt and then dropped, but it doesn't matter. The count even now at 2-2. Gadsby looking for the strikeout. Berdar awaits on deck. 0-0 the score between Michigan and UCLA in the top of the ninth. Runners at first and second for Harrison Wenson. Brian Gadsby out of the pen, the first batter he's faced. He has the count even at 2-2, delivers a tapper down to third. Looking to turn two are the Bruins. They will not be able to do it. And now a runner at third. The throw from Kreidler to Strumpf gets the runner at second, but Bivens does get to third. And now it'll be Bivens at third base and Wenson at first. So runners on the corner with Berdar stepping into the batter's box. 2 outs, though, in the inning. So all Gadsby has to do is focus on the batter at the plate. So Wenson reaches via the fielder's choice. You can't fault Kreidler for trying to get out of the inning, trying to turn two, but Strumpf, his throw from second, not in time. So runners on the corner. Michigan 90 feet away from the lead here in the top of the ninth. First pitch of the at-bat to Berdar. Misses outside for a ball, 1-0. Michael Berdar had a single in his first at-bat, but he's grounded out in his previous 2. Has 6 RBIs on the year. Runners on the corners, the 1-0 pitch, 2 outs in the inning, sent into right field, just foul. Just a little bit late on that one, as Berdar had it sent to opposite field. The Michigan dugout trying to will that one to drop in fair territory. It does not. The count even, 1-1. 0-0 the score between Michigan and UCLA here in the top of the ninth inning. Ryan Gadsby in the third pitcher Michigan has faced. The 1-1 pitch fouled into the netting behind home plate. Now Gadsby 1 pitch away from getting out of this runners on the corner jam. Berdar readies, just looking to put this one in a gap. Give Michigan the lead. 0-0 the score. Top of the ninth, runners on the corners, 2 outs, the 1-2 pitch from Gadsby to Berdar. On its way, tapper just foul on the first baseline. Unfortunately for Michigan that it went foul, as Bouchard was right on it. We'll do it again at 1-2. It's been a pitcher's duel with 1 run likely to decide it. Michigan hoping they can be the team that delivers it. 2 outs in the inning, runners on the corners, top of the ninth. The 1-2 pitch from Gadsby to Berdar. On its way. Tapper just off the plate. Berdar going to have to come off the mound to make the throw. He does in time. Helps out his own cause, gets out of the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the ninth. Michigan strands 2. And we're still scoreless at Jackie Robinson Stadium between the Bruins and the Wolverines. We'll be back in a moment to see if Michigan can send us to extras on this, the Michigan Baseball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM, Ann Arbor.
Redeem the coupons after the conclusion of tonight's game.
Tommy Henry back out on the bump to start the bottom of the ninth. Good news for Michigan softball fans after dropping a disappointing one to Baylor earlier today in Fullerton. They beat the host of this weekend's Judy Garman Classic, Michigan winning 2-0 over Cal State Fullerton. Tara Blanco getting her 7th win of the year. Nice to see the Wolverines respond after what's been a difficult weekend for the Maize and Brew. They got wins, Maize and Blue, they got wins over Arizona State and Cal State Fullerton, but fell to UCLA last night in a game they just weren't able to get the bats going. They were held scoreless UCLA's baseball team trying to hold Michigan scoreless as well. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. 0-0 the score. UCLA one swing away from ending it, but Tommy Henry has shown he has the stuff to send us to extras with little concern. Chase Strumpf digs in, batting 200 on the year. 0 for 3 on the day, striking out in the 6th. Henry's gone 2 innings, giving up just 1 hit with 3 strikeouts. Bottom of the 9th, underway. Henry has one lined into deep left center field. This one will drop at the base of the wall. And Strumpf will head into second with a stand-up double. And that's just what UCLA needed to start this bottom half of the 9th inning. Chance of UCLA from the crowd who has stayed here looking for some offense. They haven't had any yet. Tommy Henry now has to get out of a jam. Brett Stevens, you'd expect to lay down a bunt and try to advance the runner to third. And that runner will be a substitute for the Bruins.
Your attention, please, for UCLA now running at second base. For number 28, Jake Hirabayashi.
Jake Hirabayashi will enter the sophomore, 5'11", 185. If you've got good base runners, now's the time to use them. Again, 1 run for UCLA here in the bottom of the 9th will win it. The current score is 0-0 between the Wolverines and the Bruins. And it would be a tough way to start the Dodgertown Classic if Michigan's handed their first loss in the Golden State this year after such a masterful performance from Michigan starter Oliver Jaske. Tommy Henry, the freshman, has pitched 2 innings of relief. However, he just gave up his second double of the evening. And with no outs in the bottom of the 9th, UCLA threatening to win this game via the walk-off. Hirabayashi has not attempted to steal a base yet this year. And I would be stunned to see him try to steal here with no outs in the inning. More expecting Brett Stevens to lay down a bunt and try to advance Hirabayashi to third. The corner infielder's in with no outs here in the bottom of the 9th, still scoreless. Runner at second for the Bruins, looking to walk it off here at Jackie Robinson Stadium. First pitch of the at-bat to Stevens. He shows bunt, lays it down the third base line. Does Michigan try to get the lead runner? They do. The throw goes into left field. It's not held on to, and this is how UCLA is going to walk it off. A throw from Henry that just missed Lugbauer at third, and Hirabayashi comes home to score. The Bruins win it 1-0, and a disappointing end to an otherwise great defensive and pitching performance for the Wolverines. That just seems to be a fitting way for this game to end with the pitching so masterful. You wouldn't have expected a walk-off run coming via a hit, and it was a sacrifice bunt attempt that led to Henry trying to get the lead runner. You like the aggressive mindset from the freshman, but Lugbauer got into a collision with Hirabayashi, and Hirabayashi, by making that contact, forced the ball into left field, and after that, it was an easy run from third to home. Michigan, victims of the walk-off via a throwing error. We'll be back tomorrow, though. Michigan looking to get redemption against the crosstown rival USC, but a disappointing way to end the first of 3 in the Dodgertown Classic. UCLA walks it off via a throwing error. Hirabayashi scoring from second to home. The losing pitcher will be Tommy Henry.
Oh, the Bruins did it because the UCLA pitching staff recorded 10 more strikeouts.
10 strikeouts, or the 12 strikeouts from Griffin Koenig and his masterful performance on the mound. Really the story. A disappointing way, though, for the Wolverines to end it, given how well Oliver Jaske pitched. We'll see if they can rebound tomorrow. We'll have the call for you on WCBNsports.org at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern. But the final from night 1 of the Dodgertown Classic at Jackie Robinson Stadium. UCLA 1, Michigan nothing. They win in a walk-off on this, the Michigan Baseball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. For one last time, on behalf of the entire WCBN Sports crew, I'm Leo Blavin. UCLA wins it 1-0. We wish you a good night, and go Blue.